Hi everyone, welcome to Letslearn TV. I hope you have subscribed to our channel. If you haven't, you can do that now. Welcome to today's lesson, the second lesson, titled Formatting Tests. I'll be your instructor throughout today's lesson. My name is Ahebo Joel Osara. This lesson utilizes a project-based approach that requires the use of a computer. Kindly get one. It is suitable for primary school students and also for secondary school, tertiary institutions, and educators who are new or want to learn how to use word processing software like Microsoft Word. Let's quickly dive into today's learning objective. Here are today's learning objectives. At the end of today's lesson, you will be able to 1. Change text font size from 11 to 25 to 35 to 13 to any number you desire. 2. You will be able to change the font type of your tests to Garamond, New Time Roman, or Julian, and the host of many others. 3. You will be able to bold your tests. 4. You will be able to italicize your tests. You'll be wondering, what does it take to italicize a text? This you will see in today's lesson. Finally, you'll be able to underline your text. I hope you're ready for today's lesson. If you are, sure we are. Formatting tests. What does formatting tests actually mean? Formatting tests is simply placing your text in a good format to make it look presentable for your audience to see, to read, and also to desire to read it. Tests can be formatted by various means. It can be formatted by size. It can be formatted by font. It can be formatted by color. It can be formatted by casing. This we'll see through today's lesson. Formatting tests. What does formatting tests actually mean? Formatting tests is simply placing your text in a good format to make it look presentable for your audience to see, to read, and also to desire to read it. Tests can be formatted by various means. It can be formatted by size. It can be formatted by font. It can be formatted by color. It can be formatted by casing. This we'll see through today's lesson. Changing text font size. Remember, in the previous slide, we indicated that you can format your text by size. Let's see how this works. Changing the size of words can make them look special, clear, and appealing to your audience. The bigger the font, the bigger the text. You can see in the middle you have "Welcome to today's class." Isn't it bold? Sure it is. Why? Because the font size is 38. But at the bottom left, you see same welcome, very small. Why? Because the font size is 10. We can see that the bigger the font size, the bigger the text. The smaller the font size, the smaller the text. That means that whenever we see a text that is very small in our document, it means that the font size of that particular text is small. So let's quickly see how to change the text font size in our document. Here is the step on how to change the text font size of a document. First, highlight the text you want to change its size. To highlight a text, simply move your mouse pointer to the beginning of the text you want to highlight. Press down the left button of your mouse and move the touchpad of your mouse until the text become highlighted. Second step, click on the menu bar on the tab Home. The third step, you will see the ribbon appears. On the font aspect, you will see sizes like 11 or 10 depending on the Microsoft Word you are using. Click on the drop down menu showing the numbers, so you can choose any number you desire. But for this project, we choose 20. Let's see how this works practically in the Microsoft Word environment. Here is the Microsoft Word environment. Remember, in lesson 1 titled Working with Tests, we did a little activity which was writing a composition about ourselves. So in this practical phase, we'll be expanding and working on that. To change the font size of a document or a text is, first step, move your mouse pointer to the beginning of the text you want to highlight. In this case, we are highlighting the word draw. To highlight, press down the left button of your mouse and move the touchpad on your computer towards the end of the text. Then you can see that the text is highlighted. Second step, click on the menu bar Home. Then a ribbon appears. On the font parts or property of the ribbon, you see size 11. In yours, depending on the version of word processing you are using, it can be 27, 2010 or 2016, or any of the version you are using. Simply click on the number you are seeing, click on this drop down menu. In the course of this project, we'll be changing the font size to 20 and click on 20. So you can see from this drop down menu, you can change the font size of your text to any size. However, if I want to change it to a lower version like 13, I'll simply click on this. Can you find 13 on the drop down list? Definitely no. So on your keyboard, press backspace and type the number which you can find there, 13, or let's say 15, and type the enter in your on your keyboard. Automatically you see the size has reduced. So you can see that when it was 11, the size was little, and when it was 15 and 20, the size was bigger. Definitely, the bigger the font size, the bigger the text. The smaller the font size, the smaller the text. Here is the first activity we have for you today. First, open the document you saved as my ICT work during the first lesson. Second, type this sentence. Computers are electronic devices that accept, process, and store data to produce meaningful information into your open document. Third, change the font size of the word computers to 33. Remember to always save your work. Next is text font type. You might be wondering, what is font type? You can also refer to them as font or font style. There are various forms of font style. We have Garamond, New Time Roman, Arial Black, Ordurian, Bradley Hand ITC, and the host of many others. On the screen, you can see this particular text is written in Garamond style or font, while this is written in Bradley Hand's ITC font. This dark one at the bottom left is written in Arial Black font, while the other text at the bottom right is written in an Ordurian font. Now let's see how to change the font size of a text. Here is a preview on how to change text font type before we move into the Microsoft Word environment. To change the font text type, first highlight the text. But in this case, we are changing the font type of the entire text in this document. And to highlight all text in a document, simply press Ctrl key on your keyboard and the A key together, that is Ctrl A, to highlight all the text on a document. Second step, on the menu bar, click on the Home tab. Then the Home ribbon appears. From the font property, you see font type or font. Click on this drop down menu and change the font type. In this project, we'll be changing the font type to Garamond. Let's see how this works in the Microsoft Word environment. Now we are in the Microsoft Word environment, and our goal is to change the font type or style or the font of this particular text in this document. Currently, the tests are in Calibri tests font type. Remember, in the lesson 1, you have learned how to highlight tests. The next thing you'll be learning is how to highlight all tests together. To do this, on your keyboard, press Ctrl and A to highlight all tests. It means that Ctrl A means to highlight all tests on a document. Second step, on the menu bar, click on the Home tab. Then you can see the ribbon appears. From the font property, you see the font type or font or font style. Click on this drop down menu. You see different type of fonts. You can see it's changing, but for this project we'll be changing the font type or font style or font, depending whatever you might call it, to Garamond. And Garamond starts with the letter G. So we scroll down to letter G, so you can see Garamond. So I click on Garamond, automatically the text changes to Garamond. You can do same. Here is the second activity for today's lesson. We're going to put your brain to work and your hands to test. Let's see what you can do. First, highlight all the tests in the document you have opened. Second, change the font size of the text to 12. Third, change the font type or style of font to Courier New. If you have any difficulty, kindly go over this video again. In this aspect, we'll be discussing on bolding, italicizing, and underlining tests. On this screen, you can see this first test is darker, which means this test is a bold test. The second test, which is welcome to today's class, is slanted. That means that the test is italic or the text has been italicized. The last step, or words written welcome to today's class, is being underlined, meaning this is an underlined text. So let's see how to bold the text, italicize the text, and also to underline a text. Here is a preview on how to bold a text. To bold a text, simply first highlight the text you want to bold. On the screen, the word or the text's jewel was highlighted. Second step, from the menu bar, click on Home. Then, from the ribbon, the font property, click on the letter B to bold the text. The other shortcut method is simply first highlight the text you want to bold and from your keyboard press Ctrl B. Ctrl B means to bold a text. Let's see it in the Microsoft Word environment. We are now in the Microsoft Word environment. To bold a text is a two-step process. The shortcut, highlight the text and press Ctrl B. Let's see this. We are highlighting the text dual. Press down the left button of your mouse and move your touchpad through the word. The word becomes highlighted. Then press Ctrl on your keyboard and B together. You see that the text has been bold. To undo our action, we press Ctrl Z. Now let's use the longer method. Highlight the text. From your menu bar, click on Home. Then from the ribbon, the font property, click on B. You see the text is now bold. Now let's dive in to see how to italicize a text. To italicize a text is a three-step process. However, there is also a shortcut to it. We'll be exploring both aspects. First step, highlight the text you want to italicize. Second step, from the menu bar, click on Home. The font property appears or the ribbon appears. Then click on the eye symbol to italicize your text. The shortcut method is highlight the text you want to bold. From your keyboard, press Ctrl and I to italicize your text. Now let's dive into Microsoft Word and see how it works. The first method to italicize a text, the shortcut method, highlight the text. After the text has been highlighted, on your keyboard press Ctrl I. So you can see the text has been italicized. To undo this particular action, press Ctrl Z on your keyboard. Now let's take the other method, how to italicize a text. Highlight the text. From the menu bar, click on Home tab. The ribbon appears. From the font property, click on the eye symbol. So you can see your text has been italicized. Now let's quickly dive into how to underline text. How to underline? We have two methods. First method, the shortcut method, highlight the text you want to underline, and from your keyboard press Ctrl U. Automatically the text will become underlined. Second method, highlight the text you want to underline. From the menu bar, click on Home. The ribbon or the properties of the home bar appears. From the font property, you see the U symbol with an underline symbol on it. Click on it, the text becomes underlined. Let's practicalize this in Microsoft Word environment. Like we said in the previous slide, that there are two methods of underlining a text. First method, the shortcut method, highlights the word. Then you press Ctrl U on your keyboard, the text becomes underlined. To undo your action, Ctrl Z. The other method highlights the text. Second step, on your menu bar, click on Home. You see the ribbon. From the font property, you see the U symbol with an underline on it. You click on it, automatically your text becomes underlined. Let's quickly see a short activity for you to engage in. Here is the final activity for today's lesson. First, bold any text in your document. It can be any word on your document. Second, underline the sentence. Computers are electronic devices that accept, process, and store data to produce meaningful information. Third step, and finally, italicize the text electronic devices. If you have any challenge achieving any of these tasks, kindly go over this video again. So happy you made it to the end of today's lesson. Lesson 2, formatting text. Here's a quick recap of what you have learned so far. At the end of this particular lesson, we were able to 1. Change text font size from 11 to 15 and also to 20. Second, we were able to change text font type, which can also be called font or font style, from Calibri to Garamond, Y for yourself to Courier New. Third, we're able to bold text in our document by using a shortcut key, Ctrl B. Fourth, we're able to italicize text by using the shortcut key also, Ctrl I. And finally, we're able to underline text by using the shortcut key on our keyboard, Ctrl U. Thank you for staying tuned to today's lesson, which is formatting text. We hope to see you in our next lesson, which is text casing and page layout, where you format the text case of the document you have created and also change the layout of the document you have created. It will be a wonderful lesson and we hope to see you there. How to get to us? You can get to us via any of our social media handle displayed on your screen. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also to follow us on all our social media handle. See you in next class.